Episode 197. Are these comics going to make good film and television shows? We got Space Ghost, and we have the Green Hornet and Miss Fury #1. Let's talk about them right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanca. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, meetings went pretty well today, so I think we have a talk show we're going to be starting, and that other big project I was talking about. Yeah, we had a good meeting, so keep my fingers crossed. Anyway, it is a Dynamite episode today. Both of our comics for today are from Dynamite. And yeah, we're going to start with Space Ghost, which if you watched my top 10 comics for the year, you know that Space Ghost was up there. I think David Pepose, of all the things he's doing, this is really the only thing I'm reading. I did read his Punisher, which was and then he just did the Cable one, which I thought was But yet he really gets this character. This, of course, coming from the 80s television show. It was like a Saturday morning cartoon show, and then it became was it the Comedy Central thing, where it was Space Ghost Coast to Coast, which was the comedy version. And this he's bringing back into more of a mature, even though it's got kids in it, it's more grounded in... You know, it doesn't take it into the campy. I don't know how else to say that. But anyway, he's basically adopted Jason Jan and the monkey, Blip, which the Blip has a chip in his head, which I appreciate. They brought at least something to the monkey. But anyway, they lost their parents. Their father was basically killed in front of them. And they now fight crime with Space Ghost. And now we see a little bit of background on Space Ghost, which we've never really seen before. So I guess his wife was making the gauntlets, and that was his daughter. And he's like, I brought Chinese food from the Chinese realm. Yeah, I don't know. He says I have takeout, but I don't know if he just... At that point in time, I think they would probably have Uber. I don't even know where they're at. Are they on a space station or whatever? Just says... No, they're on a planet. It's called Planet Vector. So anyway, these robots come in and just start wreaking havoc on everything. And then he bows down as the big baddie comes in. And now we switch back to this ship that is being attacked by drones. They're like, we're getting attacked by drones, please help us. And they're like, well, let's scan the drones first, make sure we're not walking into a trap ourselves. And then he zooms out of the ship, and he starts blowing shit up. But the drone says something that matches when his wife and kids was dead, and which kind of freezes him. But Jason zooms in, and I think it's Jan on the guns, and they take the drone out. And this is from a TV show too, back in the 80s, called The Herculoids. I think it was Hanna-Barbera, and I never really watched it. So it's coming in February. So the Space Ghost goes to look at the head of the droid, and of course he remembers it from that death. So here we have, he's like, get out of the way, because that's the people that are that's the alien race that's getting attacked by the big baddie. And there comes the big baddie, and I forgot what his name was. Metalis. My name is General Metalis, and now you must die. And he basically tells them that you're fueled by revenge, and therefore you will never beat me. And he knocks him out of out of the ship through the wall, which I would think that he would kill him because you really can't send somebody even with a shield through a fuselage. But anyway, so he goes through the portal with them, leaving Jan and Jace alone, wondering how they're even going to, find him. But they were right that he is being fueled by rage and vengeance, and therefore he is making mistakes. And Jace sees the head of the android outside, and they tow it in, and then he reconnects it so that they can ask it questions, and they're talking about Metalis. He's like, how do I kill the Metalis? And he's like, oh, you can't kill the Metalis because he is the most amazing Metalis and cannot be beaten. And they're like, oh, there's got to be a way. And we have Space Ghost fall through the portal, etc. And he's like, well, where's Space Ghost? And basically the thing tells him, but they don't know how to get there, of course. And then they see that this is what they stole off the ship. It's like a megaton or a negaton bomb or something to that effect. Meanwhile, we are now seeing Space Ghost, I guess, on the monitor. He's actually showing them what's going on. And he gets zapped even though he is in his impervious form there. And we have the robots come up. And, of course, this leads to the baddie coming up and punching him in the head. He's like, I'm going to punch you in the head. Yeah, you did that. And he's like, you killed my family. And he says, well, you got to be more specific. I killed a bunch of families. And I guess he has, like, fire and ice. I don't know what that is. I think it's pretty cool that he's got, two different colors coming out of the... Of course, there's only 3 buttons. I always thought that was kind of weird. That he has only 6 buttons and he can do all this different shit. And on top of that, they're like pretty big, so anybody in the world can push it. But anyway, he loses the fight to Metalis, and he's communicating now with the kids. He's like, I knew you were here when you first connected my robot's head. So I'm going to show you your mentor, and he throws him off the side. And he's like, you can do nothing to prevent whatever he's doing with the Negaton bomb. And now the other species is getting attacked. And they're like, help us, help us. And he's like, there's no help for you. I don't know what he says. What does he say? Let the burning ashes of your Federation herald. That's right, he's got a thing against the Federation. Herald my arrival. Now and forever, the universe is mine. Good stuff. I really like this issue. And yeah, it falls a little bit into, this is the big evil trope. But I have no problem with bad guys being bad guys. And we have something now personal with Space Ghost. So we never really see his origin. So I really like this issue. I think it's very well rounded, and it's still got all the action. And we have the hero being beat. We don't even know what's happened to him at this point. And Jan and Jace they don't even know how to help him. So it's pretty interesting. I like it. So let's jump into Green Hornet and Miss Fury. So this is by Alex Segura. The artwork is decent in here, and yeah, I can't even say Baraja's name. I guess that's his name. The guy who does the Federico Soresa. Oh, Alex Segura. 2 people wrote this. Alex Segura and Henry Bajaras. That's so this is, of course, from the Green Hornet. And before we jump into this one, I should probably bring up my own comics. And so this is my space fantasy adventure. It's based on my 4-book novel series. This is an adaptation of the first novel. It is 150 pages long. We did just get picked up for distribution through Blood Moon Comics, which we're going to be releasing 6 floppies. That's all collected in here. So if you'd like a copy, let me know on that. And then we have Lords of LA. This is my vampire mob set in 1950s Hollywood. They are double-sized issues. They're 48 issues apiece. I have issue 1 and issue 2. And the artwork is pretty good. This is more of an adult book, where the other one's more of all ages. So this has basically True Blood meets The Godfather. So it's got plenty of blood, sex, and violence in it. And this is the Katana cover for issue 2. The Marilyn cover, since Marilyn does make an appearance. And we do have the Nosferatu shadow in the back. This is the lean cover. I also have this in a nude. This is the samurai cover. And this is the Helene cover. So if you'd like a cover, or you even like it digitally, either one of them, I also have a digital. Plus, I did hook up with, we're doing basically marketing for Moonstone, and they are doing a Green Hornet anthology for the 89th anniversary, which is this month. This is not it. This is a previous book they've done in the past. The new one will be hardcover, and it will feature some major writers like Timothy Zahn, who created Thrawn for Star Wars, as well as Kevin J. Anderson, who did Dune, a pile of others, with cover art by Matt Wagner, who did Batman and Grendel. Anyway, you can just go to greenhornetnoir.com. We are going to launch in 2 weeks. We are going to do a stream as well on the 30th. Also, check out the link in the description below. And yeah, it's going to be lots of fun. So definitely check that out. But let's jump into, so the Green Hornet that they own has the mask on it, the straight mask, where this one has the full face mask. I'm not really a fan of the full face mask. And then Miss Fury is more like a Catwoman character here. But they start out already together. And they're being surrounded, so it starts out in like a action type of situation here. And the whole thing with the tie in the front being long doesn't make any sense, because anybody can kind of pull on it and yank him toward their fist. But anyway, so they start fighting these people off. We don't even know who they are, but they're fighting them off. And I'm going to get into some of the problems that I don't like in here. But yeah, I was always a fan of the Green Hornet, especially when he showed up on Batman and Robin back in the 60s. I was only watching those on reruns. I wasn't around when they were actually first shown. But anyway, so Kato comes in to save their ass. And and there's the Black Beauty comes in and basically, chases all these guys down. And I was kind of confused by this originally when I first looked at it. But he is literally doing like a Tokyo Drift situation where he's drifting around through them. And what he's doing is he's kicking up enough dust for them to be able to get in the car, which they do. And the car is, of course, bulletproof. So they escape, and when they start questioning Miss Fury, she doesn't like that too much, so she hits the button and disappears. She opens the door and just gets out. I don't know how they didn't notice that she left, but whatever. But she did. So now we're talking to a scientist, and we're doing some questioning. And of course, when he talks to Kato as well, so Britt wakes up because he gets basically stabbed with a syringe. And when he wakes up, there's this other guy here, and this is basically I think a flashback of how he knows this other guy that everybody is talking about throughout the rest of the issue, and that is Silver Shrike, who ended up training him. But we're talking. He talks to Kato, and Kato's like, "Are you mad?" He's like, "Are you mad?" He tells to Kato, and he goes, "No, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed that you're not telling me stuff." And he treats Kato kind of like crap in this, but I don't know why. He kind of leaves him out of a lot of the stuff that he's doing, which really doesn't fit the character too well. And then we get this Bruce Wayne, Selina Kyle scene. It's almost exactly like you would see a Bruce Wayne scene. They go to a party. They end up meeting each other, talking to the mayor independently. And then we're not really liking one another. But this other guy is coming on to her, which I think is one of the cops, I think. So yeah, so she's like a debutante, etc. And that's with her giving him the brush off. He's like, I'll call you, really. But anyway, each one of them kind of gets an alert. I guess about Silver Strike or something to that effect, though. So she's, like I said, she's very Catwoman. So this basically feels like a Batman Catwoman thing. And again, he's treating like Kato like crap, and he's like, "Don't stay out of my way." Well, that's not their relationship. But he goes to visit the guy in the hospital, and he's like, "Where is Silver Strike?" But I do like the way that it's kind of depicted, kind of very noirish. And I guess she's walking into a trap, and she doesn't know it. And I guess he's already, again, he went without Kato. So he's already beat the shit. And they're back right in the very beginning. So there's a lot I like about this and a lot I don't. So, like, he just keeps walking in the traps and leaving Kato aside. And we just saw them, at gunpoint right in the beginning. What is Kato going to save them again? In the second issue it starts and ends exactly the same way. So I'm gonna keep getting it, but like I said, it's got some good, some bad. And let's do a recap real quick. So we have this. Would this make a good film or television show? I like it. I don't know how the story is yet. Of course, like I said, the story beats are too repetitive. And I don't think the relationships work. But I would love to see another Green Hornet movie that's more in line with the pulp stuff rather than Seth Rogen trying to be funny. Will you go with me on this adventure? Oh my God, that movie was so bad. So bad. The Black Beauty looked cool. So yeah, and then Space Ghost, this would make, you could pick almost any story in here. But I like this one in particular. I'm waiting to see how this one ends because we had almost like this Darth Vader, Lex Luthor, Brainiac type of character. I think that really works. So, yeah, I would love to see that as a movie. All right, well, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Remember to give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. And also, if you can subscribe, just ring that bell down there, ding, ding, and you'll get notified of when I put up new episodes. I got a couple of TV episodes coming out, or TV show reviews I'm going to be doing. And then, because American Primeval, I'm almost finished with that, and I'm almost finished with the Superman and Lois last season. I have one episode of each left, and then Wolfman comes out this week, so I'm definitely gonna go see that. Anyway, just subscribe so you can see all that, and then definitely get notified about when we release the Green Hornet anthology series by Timothy Zahn and Kevin J. Anderson and a bunch of others. Go to greenhornetnoir.com, or there's a link in the description below. All right, thanks a lot, guys, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Have an awesome week. All right, bye.